What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Gym Podcast. This is your host, G. If this is your first time here, my name is Gilbert Sanchez. We're based out of San Antonio, Texas. Right now, of course, I would say we're in Southtown area, so not too bad. It's not too far from downtown San Antonio. But man, another week back in the studio, back to back. Clap it up for me because previous time I was definitely not on a roll like this. So, man, yeah, it's been a grind, like I said before, but we're starting to get back into it. Hopefully, yeah, we put out a podcast every week, but I mean, I'm not gonna promise anybody anything because this shit is tough sometimes. I've been trying to edit videos pretty efficiently. Honestly, I've been trying to do it at work, which is pretty bad. I really shouldn't be doing that, but I mean, it is what it is. You gotta find some time to figure out what you're trying to do, and I mean, if that's what it is, you're gonna do it. Um, I don't think that's anything else. Nothing's changed from the last time that we've been in the studio. I mean, everything's pretty much the same. It's probably gonna be one of the last podcasts we do in the actual studio. So yeah, shout out to this guest. And we'll get straight into it. This is this is a friend of a friend, but nonetheless, this is something different that we've never had on the actual podcast. And whenever I got the message, of course, I check the social media, see what the guest is that's trying to come on is doing outside of outside of their life. Just I don't try to. It's gonna sound bad. I don't try to profile, but I just what I'm saying, whatever's on social media is kind of just what's put out there. And especially when you're in this industry, I mean, social media is a big thing right now. So no, but I digged it, and like I said, it was something different that we've ever had before. So Nate, man, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah,
Good to be here.
yeah, of course. Nate is a country singer, and like I said, it's different because when you take a look, I first want to start off before we get into anything. When you take a look, normal country singer is what would you say? White, right? Like
Oh yeah,
Caucasian.
facts,
So when you
100%.
yeah, so when you come into the music scene and you're doing country music, how's that been in your Hispanic Mexican?
Yeah, it's good so far. I haven't run into anything that's conflicted that in any way, shape, or form. But there has been some people in the scene. More specifically, his name's Gabe Garcia. He's from San Antonio. He's been doing it a long time, real successful. Even went to like the Nashville scene and started trying to do like a countrywide thing, not just Texas country. And he's told me stories that he's ran into roadblocks when he got to that point. But for me, when I speak for myself, I could say that I haven't had any problems yet. But I know at some point I might cross a bridge where it comes. But for now, I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah. It's because growing up, I mean, that's mostly what you've seen. Oh, well, granted,
Mhm.
there's a few people that were in the country scene back when I was growing up, but it's just different. So when I saw that, I was just like, yeah, this is something that I definitely want to take a dive into, and I want to
Yeah.
know more about the backstory because, like I said, you don't really see this. So, born and raised in San Antonio, where are you from?
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Italia, Texas, like 30 minutes south of here.
Okay,
So,
yeah, yeah,
but then I moved to San Antonio when I was like in middle school. So, yeah, I was pretty much born and raised here in San
yeah.
Antonio.
Okay, how was that? I mean, growing up in
Natalia?
yeah,
Nata
Natalia.
It was cool. I live with my mom, my brother, my grandparents. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy about the way we live.
Yeah, so I was mentioning off air. So I went to Southwest High School.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so when you go, mm, was it what is that? 35, right?
35
35 South.
South, yeah.
So you keep going, and how far do you keep going from? I guess what is that? 410.
410, it's like,
You know what I'm talking about, though,
yeah,
right?
from there, it's probably like 15, 20
Okay,
minutes maybe.
okay.
Like, Lytle? Go down 35 South,
So that's what
you
I was
pass
about to
Lytle,
ask. Okay,
and then it's like right in between Lytle and Divine.
that's what I've never understood, and this is probably way off topic, but like
Yeah,
these little towns, man. It's yeah, because Lido and then it's Natalia and then Divine,
then
right?
Divine,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
If
okay.
like the only thing, if you go down 35 South, they added a Love recently, right there in Natalia. So like before that, if
No,
you're going down 35, you would never even realize that there's anything in that little area. But yeah,
damn,
it's
man.
literally right in between there.
Damn. What's it, you know the population by chance?
Oh, dude, I don't know.
No.
Probably not a whole lot.
Yeah. Maybe now. I mean, because it's different. Like I have a buddy
Yeah.
that has an irrigation business and
Mhm.
he takes care of I guess people's yard or whatever out in like Lavernia and Floresville, and those surprisingly those fucking little places are popping.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm imagining, I can assume that that's probably the same. It's on the outskirts of San Antonio. It's not too far from the city. Maybe about 25 minutes from downtown San
Yeah.
Antonio if you go straight 35. So I mean, you never know. But
Yeah.
so you grew up San Antonio.
Yeah.
From there, I mean, once you started hitting high school, or better yet, I guess a better question is, um, I mean, when did you start actually getting into the country scene? Like, what?
It's weird now that I'm doing like music. When I look back on like my life, I guess as a whole, it's weird how like everything's kind of come full circle. So when I grew up in Italy with my grandparents and my mom. My grandpa, he played guitar. He sang. He had a band with his brothers. Like all through my childhood, I'd always remember him just sitting around playing the guitar. And he would play for the church. And then when I got old enough, he would kind of teach me a little bit, but I was little, so my hands couldn't reach like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guitar and stuff. But I would just play around with it. And then I got old enough to where I could actually like really kind of play. And I started playing since then. I was about 7 or 8. Um, and then I kind of played a little bit. Then my brother picked it up, my older brother. So then he would teach me what he knew, and then that was it. Once I got to like middle school through high school, I'd never played. I had a guitar, but it would just sit in the corner of my room. Like that wasn't the cool thing to do.
No, I was
It
just about
wasn't.
to say
It was just about it
that.
was you wanted to play sports, play
Yeah,
basketball, play football.
yeah,
So the guitar was never really. I mean, I would pick it up every now and then and play like a couple songs, whatever I knew, but it wasn't like a thing that I wanted to do. Um, it wasn't till after honestly till I turned 21. I went out to see a Randy Rogers band concert at Flores Country Store, and I had always listened to Randy Rogers growing up, but I never knew how big of the Texas country music scene was until like now, pretty much. And I was like, yeah, I was like, man, I could kind of, I knew I could kind of sing a little bit, but I was never confident in myself to like go out and sing in front of people until I turned 21, man. I was with my family and I had a few too many fireball shots. And
hell
somebody
yeah.
busted out a guitar and they were like, "Hey, play something like you know how to play." And I was like, "Ah, I know a little bit." And then the fireball was like, "Yeah, you got it." So I started singing, and then some of my family members was like, "Hey, man, you don't sound too bad. Like you should try to keep on singing." And
Yeah.
then ever since then, I kind of just it just now here I am. It's crazy how fast it happened.
Yeah, there's a couple things I want to, because you said a lot, but
Yeah.
first thing is, I didn't know Randy Rogers was from New Braunfels
Hmm.
until the last podcast episode that I had the guest on. He told me that, and I was just like, oh shit, he's fucking
Yeah.
45 minutes
Right
away.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 45 minutes away. I was like, God damn.
I even think Wade Bowen lives in New Braunfels too. I think. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. But I wanted to talk about the confidence part, like, because breaking out of the shell, it can just be for anybody doing whatever. It
Hmm.
don't matter what it is. Um, how was that for you? I mean, can you talk about that a little bit more, because you have you have this thing called social media nowadays that
Yeah.
everybody's so afraid to put themselves out there.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie, including myself sometimes, depending on what topics or what we actually talk about, or even fucking TikTok. Like,
Hmm.
there's a I don't know, man. It's just something about it. It's just the confidence is not there, and it's something that I've struggled with my whole life. And some people know, some people don't. But how was that for you, man? What kind of brought you out of your shell, other than the fucking fireball?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
fireball that one night, and then after then, I was just like, it wasn't it wasn't confidence at first. At first, it was like, "Fuck it,
yeah,
like who cares?" And then once I kind of started getting the ball rolling, then the confidence factor kind of played a role to where I was like, "All right, I'm doing this. Like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this how I want to do it, and like do it my way in a sense." But it was not right off the jump. Like you said, you like
yeah,
confidence. I like confidence. Still to this day, like
yeah,
stuff I post on social media, I'm like, man, I probably shouldn't post that, or I
yeah,
should take it down.
yeah.
But then I'm like, and then the whole like, who cares, kind of comes in. So it's a little bit of both. Every now and then, I kind of tap into that mindset to where like, all right, I'm here. Like, this is my show. This is what I'm gonna do, and this is me. Like, if you don't like it, well, sorry.
Yeah, man.
You know what I
And
mean?
and that's the part that I've never understood about social media, is that people sometimes complain about what other people post on social media. I'm
Hmm.
like, in my head, I'm more of the type of, there's a, you can always control what you do. So there's an unfollow button, there's a, like a
Yeah.
mute button, there's all these things. So I don't see how someone can complain about or even feel some type of way. It even gets worse when when success becomes relevant, when somebody else is succeeding,
Hmm.
and it just might be that realm of what they're trying to get in, and it's just jealousy, just
It just,
yeah,
yeah.
full steam ahead, I should say. But that's good, man. I'm glad you broke out of that because I've always said there's and I don't know, shit. Last podcast guest talked about this, but I don't know if you ever seen the meme, or I should say, just a little graphic of the dude just chipping away underground, and like on the other side is like a diamond,
Hmm.
and like if he hits it one more time or two more times, he hits the diamond.
Gets
But
it, yeah.
yeah, he quits. So I mean, that one time you can post on social media, but you're too afraid to. It just might be
That
something
could
that,
open the door.
yeah,
That,
yeah. So
yeah.
that's always what I've tried to tell people on this actual platform is, man, just do it because people are gonna talk regardless, whether if you do good, whether if you do bad, whether if you don't show up to
Yeah.
that live, whether if you don't like,
Yeah.
it's just gonna be always in someone's head, someone's mouth. So, but other than that, man, any other struggles you face other than confidence when
Um,
kind of getting into the country scene?
Not, I guess, first starting out, like hitting up the venues, trying to play the venues and stuff, like the business side of things. At first, it was I never really dove into that until I got to that point. But like, man, at the beginning, hitting up venues, no response. Then I would like go in person. I talk to a manager. They'd be, oh, let me give you my number. Just send an email here, this and that. Like crickets, bro, for a long time, like
Yeah,
super long time. And then once I kind of got the ball rolling, and then I got my social media, posting videos, or I played here, then people will like venues could go look at that and be like, okay, he's already played this place. Like he kind of has some like,
yeah,
live experience. Like we could bring him into our place. And but yeah, dude, at the very beginning, that was a struggle trying to get these uh good shows to not only put myself out there, but have people come see me
yeah.
because I wanted to try to like really go for it. Like, why not? Like, and we're only here for a certain amount of time, and in that time, we might as well just do
Yep.
what we want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I want to talk about the business side, man, because that's
Hmm.
always interesting to me. Whatever you're doing, um, not I mean you're not taught financial literacy whenever you're in grade school, high school.
Mm.
Sometimes parents don't even teach you, and it's not to say that's their fault. It's just maybe they weren't taught themselves, and it's not something that's taught. Now I'm starting to see more people talk about it. Of course, social media is putting on different platform, and people are talking about it. You'll see gurus, financial advice people, like whatever. But I mean, how hard was that for you to understand the business side of it? Because you've been doing it what? How many years now?
Probably like 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, probably like 2.5.
So booking these venues and then kind of determining what a rate, I
Yeah.
should say.
Yeah, and that's dude. It's so crazy because I was telling the band I have now, like I'm super grateful for these guys because these guys are legit, like they're fucking badass. But before that, I had some good players in me before, like no question about that. But um, I never had like a set band, so I would have to be finding last minute drummers or getting fill-in bass players, and then I would send them the songs, and then they would come to the show and they'd be like, "Ah, I didn't really go over this one, so
Yeah.
like we'll just wing it." And I'm like, "All right, cool," but I'm like, "Man, I don't want to wing it. I want to know that we're like we got it and we're good." Um, but even like as far as like sound, some places like you got to take your own sound. I didn't have any sound equipment, so I would be there. I'd be like, "Well, I don't have that.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do?"
Yeah.
So then I started kind of getting into it, and then meeting people, and then just networking and learning from people that have been in the business that I could get um, what they know, so that way I could do it to my shows. So yeah, dude, um, just building up. Like I remember you saw the podcast or your podcast, or you investing in yourself. That's what it is. So like the shows that I set up my rates for, whatever I charge, it's pretty much all gone straight back into myself or my music. Better guitar, like guitar strings. I go through guitar strings all the time.
Yeah.
Um, that's just a little stuff. But as far as like my sound is upgraded. Finally, I have a decent sound system that that's what I've been working for since I first started, and I finally have it. So it feels good to finally kind of get there where hit your goals that you want. Um, but yeah, the business side of things is nothing like I thought
Yeah.
it would.
How
Yeah,
how far until you got your sound? Like how many 2 years, right? I would
it
say
probably
more or less.
yeah,
See, that's the thing that trips me out is that people they just expect this shit to go good from the get go, right?
yeah,
Like they want like I think some people don't understand that these things take money, takes time,
yeah,
it takes a lot of effort, it takes trial and error, it takes information getting from other people. that's something I had to do just crazy amount. Like I talk about all the time. This other guy, this other guy, my best friend that I rented that I rent the studio with, beyond fucking like he just taught me so much things
Mm,
that I had no idea that I can do. So now that it's actual process, because man, I'm not even gonna lie, we were winging it up until shit September of last year, and I
yeah.
was doing it for about a year, maybe 6 months.
Mhm.
So we were winging it. Like I was doing the edit, the audio. He might do it one day. Um, like the video, he tried it once or twice, and then like it was just all up in the air. I think he was doing another podcast at the time. Shout out to Stephanie. She was doing another podcast at the time, like editing the video and the audio, and like it was just everything was just so new, so you didn't
Yeah.
really know what to do. And when you talk about podcasts in San Antonio, now I know a good amount of people within the podcast world in San Antonio. But before, I mean, there wasn't really no one doing it.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, going into the what I just said, how hard was that, like the networking part? Because you talk to some of these people and they don't want to give you the sauce. They don't want to give
Yeah.
you the
And
knowledge, and they're always
yeah,
like gatekeeping.
yeah, it kinda goes into, like, when I was first starting, I would hit up these people that I knew, not gonna name drop, but I would hit up people
Yeah,
that I knew in the scene, and they kinda just like, "Ah, cool, give me the cold shoulder," and not be disrespectful to me in any way,
yeah.
but, like, not give me the time of day in a sense. Then once I kinda got the ball rolling and kinda made a name for myself, then whenever I reach out to them or I see them out, then it's you know what I mean?
It would
It's more
change.
of
Yeah,
yeah, but then again, like, that's just how it works, like, you can't just expect to come in and just everybody's right there, like, just bowing down to you in a sense. Like, you gotta respect that, respect from others. You gotta gain that respect from others. So that's all I mean, that's pretty much all it took. But yeah, at the beginning, I definitely, got a lot of phones hung up in my face.
dude, that's the worst
A lot
part,
of
man.
a lot of, ignored messages, read messages, but
Yeah,
it builds the character.
yeah,
Like
a lot of people don't know this, and I think this is the first time I ever said this, man. There's countless DMs, and shout out to you for being so patient. I know I said that
yeah, I
you
got you.
when
Shout out to
you,
Carlos one time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of DMs that I've sent that have no response. There's a ton of emails that I've sent, no response. So I know the feeling, but it comes with what we're in. Like for me, I know there's people out there that've been doing it for years. Like podcasts is not something new. So when you're talking to people that have a bigger platform than you are and you're trying to reach out, it's just I think I can see where they're coming from as far as like what's the gain if I
Yeah,
go to this when they don't know you personally. That's the
right.
only thing. And I've understood that. Like it took me a while. Like at first, when I sent a DM or sent an email and I got no response, I'm like, oh fuck that guy. Like he can go
Yeah,
he can fucking suck a dick, like
yeah,
something crazy. But like that was my whole mindset until I tapped into maybe I should just put some work in. Maybe I should
mhm,
just keep grinding, and you never know.
yeah,
Someone I might interview someone that I sent that's friend of a friend to that person I sent an email
yeah,
to, and it just connects.
yeah,
And a lot of people don't get that because it's just they expect it right away,
yeah,
right? I think social media has put a blind to some of these
yeah.
things where it's just like, yeah, you got to get this shit right away.
Yeah, even going to that, dude, some of the first posts I did when I was first starting music, I was like, this was a while back. I was going through my Instagram looking at it, like, and I was like, man, why did I post that? So I
Yeah,
started deleting some of my old posts, but like as to like to anybody who didn't know me then, you go look at my page now, you'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool.
yeah.
But like some of the ones before, you'd be like, man, well, like, what is that? Like,
You
why
know, it's
is that?
funny. It's crazy because 2 days ago I was actually doing that. I was at work and I was taking a look at my pictures. And whoever's watching, you can go to my first post, and they're all there from 2012. I think that's when I first started posting selfies, like just yeah, it was a different style, man. You had filters on there that were only available on Instagram or Snapchat, and yeah, it's just different. But
Yeah,
the only reason why I left it there and I never deleted anything, I deleted some things, but the only reason why I didn't delete most of that shit is because, man, I want to look back. Hopefully, Instagram is still around. I want to look back 10, 15 years and see
like
where it
where you
all came
came
from.
from.
Yeah, where it
Yeah,
all came from. Because man, you take a look at 2012 and what was I 17? And imagine 10, 15 years, it's like, it's
yeah,
gonna trip me out, man.
yeah. It's
But
crazy.
no, I know shit, maybe I should talk about this, but there's a lot of people that that delete shit. And they have their reasons, but I've never really understood it. until a couple years or until maybe about a year ago. But this person told me that I wasn't the same person that I was whenever I tweeted that or whenever I posted that.
Yeah.
And I was like, how you not the same person? But I started understanding that, I mean, people change. Like within 5 minutes, your whole thought process can change if someone's
Yeah.
talking to you and dropping knowledge on you. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
But let's backtrack a little bit because we got a little off track.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going to the music,
Mhm.
how did you actually find your style? I mean, obviously it's country, but everybody has a different style when it comes to their
Yeah.
process. How was that for you?
I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm still trying to find it, but I definitely do have my own kind of style. But honestly, it's all due to the new Texas music scene right now. Guys like Parker McCollum, Cole Wetzel, Reed Southall Band. That's what I was listening to when I first got into this Texas country scene. And then it's not it's not so much like country, but it's considered Texas country, but it still has this different kind of vibe to it to where I was like, that's what I like. That's how I could see myself sounding. Um, I mean, no hate to like real country. Like I love, I sing it all the time. I'm gonna
Yeah.
sing it tonight after I leave here. Um, but finding my style, I'm trying to be different, um, but still kind of, I don't want to say put myself in a box, but still kind of fit this certain look to where it's not so off the wall. Where people are like, okay, what is this? Like, what is he doing? But yeah, as far as my music style, I would say that I'm still trying to find it a little bit. Um, but yeah, I can't really pinpoint like to say my style is like this or styles like that. I leave it up to
Yeah.
whatever
That's
the people want to say.
that's a cool thing about this, right? Is that you can wake up tomorrow and have a totally different
Hmm.
outlook on your music and you can
Yeah,
change it. And that's a cool thing about just whatever you're doing is just you can change it, man. Like if you wanted to whatever your creative process or your style looks like, you can change it. And that's the
yeah,
cool thing about it. Like not a lot of you don't have to necessarily fit what other people are doing,
yeah,
especially if I mean they're gonna yeah, like you said, they're just gonna look at it like what is
yeah,
this or are you trying to be somebody? Like
yeah.
there's two different things.
It's funny. I got a my single that I just dropped, Houston. Somebody DM'd me and they're like, "Love the song, bro. Keep that same style." And I'm like, I don't even know what that style is,
Yeah.
honestly. But I was like, "Yeah, cool. I got you."
Hell yeah. That's always good, man. How has
Yeah,
that been for you? The people DMing you and just kind of loving the music.
it's crazy, honestly. It's hard for me to put myself into that like artist standpoint because like I'm a fan of other artists myself. So like to know that I always got to instill in the back of my head that like I got to carry myself as an artist. If that's what I'm trying to be, I got to carry myself as an artist now. Even though I'm not big or selling out
Yeah.
shows, I still got to carry myself that way. So when I see these DMs, I'm like, man, that's crazy. But I'm like that's what I'm portraying myself as. So like that's how I have to be. But man, the love I've gotten since I dropped my first single is crazy. More than I ever would have imagined. The support is crazy.
Were you nervous
Uh,
when you first dropped it?
Honestly, dude, I've never told this story like to anybody besides my girlfriend because she was there. But dude, I was just like super emotional, bro. Honestly, I had a show that Thursday at Cora's in Castroville, and it was dropping at midnight Thursday night, so that Friday, April 1st.
Yeah.
And so after work, I went straight to the gig, set up and everything, and then we got home that night. The song dropped, and we were at this little bar, and they played it on the jukebox, and all my friends are there. It was cool. It was a super cool feeling. And then we got home, and my girlfriend had this. She had these balloons that said Houston over the like the backdrop, and it had a little cake with like the
Yeah.
picture and
Yeah.
stuff. And it was just like oh like a congratulations thing, bro. I just started crying. Like it
Yeah.
just so much work that I put into it, and then for it to finally like just be out, it was just I can't even explain the
No,
feeling,
trust
but it
me.
was.
I know the feeling, man. I say it all the time. There's a satisfaction that comes with
Mhm.
whatever you're doing. Especially if you're really passionate, you're obsessed with it. You wake up every day, and that's the first thing that comes to your mind. Whenever what's the word? Whenever your shit comes into fruition, it's a different feeling,
Yeah,
man. It's a
like it
different
was just
feeling.
so overwhelming. Like I literally just sat there and me and my girlfriend were hugging. I was like crying. She's like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "I don't know." I'm like, "I'm just so happy, I guess."
Yeah.
I don't know. It was such a good feeling though. But
And I guess to piggyback off that, there's a stigma even now, man. Like I see shit on social media where you have people crying on TikTok or you have people posting videos on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and there's people commenting like, "Damn, I would never cry on social media." But for me, and I've said this, I've actually put it on a thread like maybe a fucking year and a half ago talking about being vulnerable, and
Mhm.
that's the state you have to be in. Being vulnerable is different, man. I'll talk about it from experience. Like crying in front of people was something that I've never ever fucking done. Like I even talking to people was something that I've never ever done,
Same.
and it's a different world when you start showing emotion and showing feelings, especially a guy. Like you're not supposed to have
Yeah, you're not
feelings.
supposed. Yeah, you're not. Yeah,
You're not supposed to
you're not
cry.
supposed to. Yeah,
Yeah, that's I guess that's what you're taught whenever you're growing up. But man, you start getting older, you start living life, and it's man, it's just
everything's different. Yeah.
sometimes it's just too much.
Mhm.
Yeah, sometimes it's just too much. But I started being vulnerable, and I started expressing myself. I started being just emotional, and everything everything started to change, but in a good way because my my family got better. My relationship with the girl at the time, still in a relationship, like
Mhm.
it just it went seamless. Like I just there was just something that I was holding on to, or something that I wasn't letting in. That whenever I did let it in, and I just put out an effort, it just changed.
Everything changed.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just changed. But man, that's good, man. That's the crime part. I've never really understood because when you put that on social media, one, you're putting something out, so you're ready. I think there's a
You're
subconscious
gonna
thing
get
in.
something out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a subconscious thing, like, if you know you're putting it on social media, there's gonna be people talking, good or bad,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, like, you're putting it out there and you already know, like, you don't care.
Yeah.
Like, if you're putting it on social media, I think someone should feel like they can do that because it's their platform, so,
Yeah.
but
Like you said, there's the unfollow, there's a mute button if you
yeah,
want to do
man.
it.
Yeah, man, like, that whole I don't even wanna get into it, but the whole Dave Chappelle thing, like,
Mhm.
never mind, we won't get into it. But, yeah, man, that's dope, bro. Really, really dope, man. So,
Yeah.
I guess growing up, who were some of your big influences when it came into country? Or I mean,
Just music. Yeah.
yeah, just music in general.
What's even more crazy is like I don't listen to country that often. Honestly, I listen to a lot of classic rock, a lot of rap. I mean, that's like middle school, high school. That's
Yeah,
what it's all
yeah, yeah.
about. But growing up, in my family, dude, pretty much my entire family, dude. On my mom's side of the family, I think we have like 23 members that play guitar. So just being around them, but more specifically, my grandfather,
Where you have 23 people that play the guitar?
in my family. Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
I don't
That's why I
even
said when it comes back full circle to where I am now,
yeah,
I'm like, dude, like how did I not see when I was younger? Like, man, you should try to do music.
yeah.
It just didn't happen.
The
But
support system was there.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
since the
yeah.
very beginning, even now,
Yeah, even yeah,
yeah,
that's
even now, it's crazy.
that is wild. I don't even know one you're probably the first person that knows how to fucking play guitar, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't
But yeah, my influence more specifically in my family, my grandfather, my uncles, pretty much my whole family. My cousin Luke Valencia, he released an album like 2008. Um, one of my favorite albums to this day. Um, him, but as like actual artist, growing up, it was a lot of Gary Allen, Kenny Chesney, Randy Rogers Band, Cross Canadian Ragweed. I listened to a lot of like Fleetwood Mac, the classic rock, the Eagles, all of that. Yeah, I love all of
yeah.
that. I listen to that on the daily. Like people make fun of me, like, man, why you still listen to that? Like, cause it's good music, bro.
It's
That's
timeless.
why. Yeah.
That's what a lot of people don't get is music is timeless, especially if you do make it timeless with the intention of to. You have fuck, I was just you familiar with Stranger Things?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, you know I'm assuming that's around the country,
Hmm.
like the main song. I forgot. I fucking saw just a post. I think the song was made in '85,
Hmm.
and one of the main songs. I forgot the fucking name.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you know what I'm talking about, you've seen season.
There's a one. I think it's the Kate Bush song. I forgot
Yes.
which one
Okay.
it is.
Yes.
It's like a yeah. I know what you're talking
Okay.
about.
So 85. She made it in '85, but she owns all her. I don't know. Don't fact check me because I don't know. I saw this on just a little post. So supposedly she just owns her music, but she's making somewhere upward of like $1 million a week because it's streaming and she owns all the fucking music and it's going
And it's
fucking
picked up
viral on
again. Yeah.
on TikTok, on social media, and that's the fucking insane part when you can have timeless music like that and you can put it in a show that's already going crazy, and then now it's even more crazier. It's just
Hmm.
timeless, whatever. Whether if you're country, rap,
Yeah. Whatever.
fucking classic rock, whatever. Like I would always recommend even this, man. That's why one of the main focuses I like to focus on is mental health, is because that shit is gonna last your whole life. So me talking about this, I can come back in 10, 15 years and just be like, damn, it's crazy to have a mindset like that at 27 or however old I am at the time. No, not it's crazy to have that mindset at 27, but then looking back at it, whatever time I'm looking back and just like, damn, man, you were onto something. So
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, 23 people, that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
You said your cousin dropped the album in '08.
Oh, 08, yeah.
Anybody else in your family
Uh,
making actual music?
nah, I think he was the only one.
Everybody, it just was taught to him.
Everybody was
It's
just like
crazy.
around the house, or when we get together for barbecue, somebody would bring out a guitar, we kind of just sit around and just sing
Yeah.
along together, just have a good time.
Yeah.
Um, my brother, when he was playing guitar, he had a MacBook and he would record too, but he never like put it out. He never put it out. He would just do it like for fun. And I would always tell him, like, man, just put it out. Like, you never know what's gonna happen. Like, it's good. It's not bad. Like, I would tell you if it was bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm your brother. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you straight up. But like, it wasn't. It was like some pretty decent stuff. I was like, man, just put it out. Like, you never know. Especially with SoundCloud. SoundCloud had just came out, so I was like, dude, you never know what could happen. And he's like, nah, 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 nah. So whenever I kind of came around into that time to where I'm like, okay, let me think about putting music out. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Cause like my brother's older now to where he was like, man, like if I would put it out, what if a song would have blew up or something?
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, if I just sit around waiting, like shit, I'm gonna be 35 looking back, like, damn, I should have put some music out. I should have chased my dream, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I've talked about this before, specifically during the pandemic, is that people, whenever people, even to this day, still quitting, just because of the how do I say this, the conditions they are, I guess, experiencing within their 9 to 5 job or
Yeah.
working from home or whatever they're doing. Is a lot of people are quitting and they're starting businesses, going their own route, just doing influencing social media, like
Yeah.
they're starting to figure out that some of this shit is not worth it because of just the time that they have that someone has in a lifetime.
Dude, what's even more crazy is lately I've been fighting this battle like so hard, like super hard. I work full-time job, um, but now my music is kind of like carrying over into, like you were saying, I was
Yeah,
editing at work and this and that. By the time, dude, sometimes I'll be at work, like I get there in the morning, and like I'll start sending emails or like shooting DMs or responding to people and this and that. By the time I know I've been sitting on my phone for like 30, 45 minutes, I'm like,
yeah,
man, I gotta get to work. Like, this doesn't look good. And then even now, dude, like the shows, like sometimes I gotta like try to leave early or something. I'm like, man, like I mean, it's not looking good. Like with at work, what I'm doing, but I'm like, man, like how much more could I be leaving on the table if I'm not putting everything I have into this music? Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like I could look back 10 years from now and be like, man, like if I would have quit then and gone full time in music, I would have gotten there. Or I mean, who knows where I'll be, but I could have made myself that much more into my music, into my business, into everything that I have going on for myself. But because like I was too scared to like quit my job, you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Because like right now it's definitely carrying over into my day job.
yeah.
But I'm like,
A-
man,
And I'll talk about this from experience because this is something that I've never ever touched on. But it's just for me, like what I've found is a schedule. Luckily for me, is I go mostly off clients. So I
mhm.
sell cars, so
Oh,
most of the
okay, cool.
appointments I have, they're a set time, and most of the paperwork is done before they actually got there. So it's a little bit more easier, and it's a little more things I can control. But um, I've always had a schedule, bro. So that's what's really helped me. Like even let's just say a day that I don't have appointments set up, I'll make some calls in the morning. Um, I'll send some emails. I'll probably send some text messages. I'll give like whatever. I'll take care of that first. But then if nothing's responding, if I haven't got a text back, call back, whatever, then I'll start jumping into the podcast if I have something to edit or if I have something to post. Um, and finding a schedule and finding even like after. So let's just say I have a day off, like finding something to do on my day off, which is today, something like this
Right.
is a schedule. Because before I was editing this morning, I mean, um, went to the gym, like that's something I'm very religious about
Yeah.
is being active. So for me, that's what's helped me the most is finding a schedule and a routine too, because I'm a big believer in fucking sleep, bro. Like
Dude,
if you don't have the right set of sleep, man, that shit will fuck you hard.
that is killing me too,
Yeah,
cause like, the shows, dude, I mean, I'm always playing at night. So, like, I gotta be at work at 8, sometimes 7. So like some nights, dude, I'll play from like 9 to 1. By the time
Yeah,
I set everything down, I'm loading up. By the time I get home, it's like 2:33, and I got to
yeah,
be up in like 4 or 5 hours
yeah,
tops. And dude, I need like 10 hours of solid sleep. I could run
yeah,
like for like 2 days straight.
yeah,
But dude, I don't remember last time I got a full like 8 hours of sleep, like a
yeah,
solid sleep schedule.
yeah.
But man, it sucks.
Yeah, and this is something I've been fighting with my fucking girl about is because, and it's nothing against her. It's just we're having trouble. Hopefully, she doesn't watch this. We're having trouble finding the time for each other, and it's coming to a point where we are fighting, like not fighting, but like we are trying to figure out what's best for one another based off what we have going on,
Right.
and that's the hard part. Like trying to figure out whose schedule works best with what. Man, it's tough, man.
Dude,
So I
that's
know where
one
you're
of the
coming from.
things too, since like one of the things they don't tell you. Cause I mean, I've been with my girlfriend since sophomore year, so we've been together like 8 years.
God damn.
Yeah, no. But
Nah.
people are like,
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
first started, like, "Oh, you got a girlfriend?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "It's not gonna work, bro. Don't do it." I'm like, "No, like it's good." But that's one of the things that I'm realizing firsthand, dude. It's so hard because like
Hard, bro.
I work, get to work, I work 8 hours a day. Right after work, I'm going straight to a show. And sometimes she's like, "I'm too tired." I'm like, "You don't have to come. Like, don't feel obligated. Like, I'm
Yeah.
tired too." Like
Yeah.
sometimes, like I'm like,
I
"Damn, I gotta play."
I don't wanna go,
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to go, so I
yeah.
don't expect you to go.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, when else are we gonna like see each other, spend time? Like that's been super hard, like
Yeah.
in my personal life. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, and like you said, that's not a lot of people, like, go tell that on social media that
See that?
yeah,
Yeah.
or see that,
Yeah.
and that's what I've never really been the type to, post shit on social media for a number of reasons, but yeah, man, it's been a struggle, so, McKinley, if you're watching, shout out to you because you're a badass person,
Yeah.
but
I feel that.
shit, man. What else? Let's go to this. I'm gonna read some of these things real quick because I want to see what we missed. Let's see. Shit, this is pretty interesting. I mean, because you talked about SoundCloud,
Hmm.
and that really changed the fucking music industry. Whenever people were trying to get heard, get seen. So, uh, I guess streaming music, social media.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, before, granted, you weren't really doing anything before, and it was just something. But I mean, how different do you think it would be if you were just like making music back then where you didn't have all these outlets?
Oh yeah, it would be super hard. Like my Instagram now, I think I had like 1,300 followers, something like that. But before that, would I have 1,300 people that could see my stuff? No, not even. There's no chance.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, I didn't experience it when I like back then when streaming music and like YouTube and stuff wasn't a thing, but I could imagine how hard it is. Actually, I have this coworker. He used to make music back in the day, like rap, and he
Oh
told me
shit.
like
Yeah.
he like bro, he's like you should just make like little CDs of your singles and have them at the shows. I'm like, why would I do that when I could just tell him go to my Instagram or
Yeah.
just go on YouTube? But like that's his mindset
Yeah.
too, because that's when he was doing it. So I'm like, man, like that was never a thought process of mine because I didn't have to deal with that, like having actual hard copies.
Yeah, bro.
Although I love the hard copy like concept. Like here's an album, like it's a whole project. You got to listen to a whole project, not just one or two songs or whatever.
Yeah.
That makes a whole project.
Cars don't even have fucking CD players in them.
Yeah.
Like now, well, Lexus. Yeah, Lexus still has CD players, even in their 2022s, which is wild. But I
Yeah.
was reading. The only reason why I know is because I was watching a TikTok. Someone stitched it and was like a Lexus car employee and was like, most of the people that buy Lexuses are 40 and older.
Older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they still use CDs because of
CDs.
that's just their preference. But yeah, man, that's it's weird because going into like the streaming platform, like I never thought it was gonna be this. I never thought you would be able to go onto your phone and you can play First Class by Jack Harlow right there in instant.
Yeah.
Like before, you would just have to pop it into a fucking CD player
Or find it.
yeah.
Like I remember my dad used to have like, and my mom had the little thing on your sun visor had the
Oh
CDs in
yeah,
there. You
yeah.
had to go through and
Or a
pick which one you
fucking
want.
or a
A book.
booklet, yeah, a
Yeah.
booklet, like a fucking CD book. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was wild. Yeah, man. And when my mom used to collect CDs too, man. She used to collect CDs. She used to have a fucking book like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, never in a million years thought it
I
was gonna be
I
this easy.
I guess I would say I kind of collect, but I mean, I don't like. I just collect like the albums and music that like that I love. So like I got some hard copy CDs that have been signed by like Augustana, one of my favorite bands. I found some of their hard copy CDs at like half price books, and I went to go see him like a few months ago in Austin. So I got all of them, and I
That's
went and I
dope.
got them signed. So
Yeah.
like the only reason I like them because like it's like a what's what I'm looking for.
Like it's tangible. You can
Yeah,
touch it. Yeah,
like
yeah.
I could have something
Yeah.
to save. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And that's
Um,
a lot of people are doing vinyls now.
and
Like
vinyls,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
got some vinyls too.
That's
Yeah,
a huge thing now, which I didn't think was gonna ever come back. But I mean, 4 years ago, I think that's whenever, maybe even before that. But I just never thought it was gonna come back until they started seeing fucking record players and
yeah,
like
like
urban,
remaking them.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
Urban
yeah,
Outfitters and
Urban
stuff.
Outfitters,
Yeah.
and now you got fucking Amazon where you can get nearly anything, everything. But
Yeah.
shit, man. Anything else you want to talk about? You want to plug before we get up out of here?
Um.
Well, first let's end off on the single, man. What's
Oh
that
yeah.
about? Yeah, what was the process of making that?
So, my girlfriend has family in Houston, and we visit Houston pretty often. Um, try to at least like once a month, but we go there pretty often. Um, but her family's always like taking really good care of me. So when they moved, it was like, man, it's kind of sad. You know what I mean? I feel like my family was moving. So every time we went, I was like, man, every time we come to Houston, like, I just love Houston. So like, and then every time we would leave, I would feel sad because I'm like, damn, man, we gotta
Yeah,
leave Houston
yeah,
again. Um, so when I started writing it, we were driving to Houston, and I saw like the Katy Water Tower, and like this line just popped up in my head. I left my heart in Houston, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I got on my notes and I started typing this one verse or the chorus, and I actually tweeted it. I don't know why I tweeted it. Um, and then that next morning we woke up, and I always have my guitar with me, so I had my guitar. I was kind of playing around with it, and then I just like freestyled the rest, like the first verse, and I was like, hey, this sounds pretty good. And then like that morning, I freestyled that first little verse, and then I was like, all right, I like that. So then I put out my notes, and I just started like I wrote that song probably like in like 20 minutes. And then I changed some words around, and then I changed the perspective of it to where it's kind of like a breakup song or like a heartbreak song. The way I put it is like I went to Houston, and then this chick cheated on me, and then I left, so like, I left my heart in Houston type thing. So I just had to put it into like a songwriter standpoint and make
yeah,
it
yeah.
better, I guess. At least that's what I thought.
Damn. So
But
20
yeah, that's
minutes.
pretty much it.
20 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
That's pretty
and then
good.
once we got in the studio, we added the little bridge breakdown part. That's something I didn't know. That was my producer. Shout out to Gabe at Stone Creek. He was like, "Man, we should add this." I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." Um, but yeah, it came together pretty quick, and I'm super happy about it.
How long did it take? How long? What's the process like? The timeline process from like when you did that to like when you released it?
I
Yeah.
wrote that song like 3 years ago, and I just released it on April this
Holy
year.
shit.
Yeah,
Why is that?
part of that is me
Yeah.
because I wasn't like, let me do music. Let me like
Mm.
it wasn't until like probably like a year ago where like that switch flipped where I was like, let's do it. Like this is what I want to do. But I was just trying to write songs. So I wrote that, and I kind of had like a little catalog of songs. And then once I kind of hit that point where I was like, all right, this is what I want to do, then I was like, all right, let's try to get in the studio and do this. But also the studio process took way longer than I thought. I thought it was kind of just go in, play the guitar, okay, we do this, do that.
Yeah.
Nah, bro,
Yeah.
no, not even close. And then I was telling my girl too, I was like, now I realized like, oh, Justin Bieber, Frank Ocean, oh, they haven't put an album out in 4 years. I'm like, man, y'all don't know what, especially at that level.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what goes into making one of their records or like each song, like all that. I'm like, man, it's crazy. I'm like, I'm about to put out 4 songs, and those 4 songs are still. I'm almost done with it, but it's taken way longer than I thought.
Yeah, that's a crazy part. I wouldn't even know where to begin when it comes
Yeah,
to going to the studio and trying to write music. Like, not my thing.
yeah,
I wouldn't even think about taking a dive into it. But I can see and I can understand how it takes so long. That there's the creative process, the creative mind, I should say, when someone
mhm,
is creating something like that, where you have to figure out lyrics that go with the beat that you think someone might like, and even if the thought like they might not like it, some like it's just
it has to kind of make sense,
it,
make a little story.
yeah, bro, it's
I
trip.
was thinking about that earlier too, because I'm like with country or just rock or anything in general, really. Like you kind of have to have like a little storyline. Like each line has to kind of have a meaning. Like not so much as in rap. Like in rap, you could just
Yeah, talk about whatever.
say
Yeah,
whatever you
yeah,
want. Like it'll still be a good song.
yeah,
But like when it comes to like writing a song, like an actual song, like a verse, a bridge, a chord, like all this stuff, like you kind of have to keep the same like end goal or same storyline.
It
Like
just has a flow. Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah, yeah.
that's like super hard. That's a super hard part. That's why I respect songwriters so much. Like even the songwriters or the artists that are covering songwriter
Yeah,
songs, I'm like, man, I want to know about the songwriter, not the guy that's singing it.
yeah,
Like, because that's hard. It's
yeah.
really hard to do.
Very fucking hard. Like I said, man, I wouldn't even take a dive into it, man, because I know I've had not my thing, man. But
Yeah.
shit, bro. What's you got any upcoming shows other than tonight?
Yeah.
When
Tonight I'm at Stetson Dance Hall. Friday I'm at the Well. Um, man, I can't think off the top, but like I'm super booked and busy July, pretty much for the rest of the year.
yeah,
I definitely I got a big show. I'm playing my hometown. They're having a church festival in Italia. I think it's a Labor Day festival, and when I first started too, I was like, man, I want to play that one of these days, and I finally got the call, so I'm super excited about that. Um, I'm playing
so you said
for
Labor Day, so that's
Labor Day. I think it's
September, right?
yeah September. I think it's the day before, the third or the fourth. I can't remember. It's a Sunday.
Yeah,
Um,
the fourth. Yeah, yeah.
the 4th, yeah, so I'll be out there, and then I'm playing the Peanut Festival in Floresville, sometime in November. I can't remember off the top, but yeah, I'm playing all over San Antonio. So y'all follow me on Instagram, Twitter, add me on Facebook, Nate DeLeon Band. Instagram is just type in Nate DeLeon. My everybody makes fun of me about my ad name because I had it since like middle school, so I don't want to change it. But yeah, I'll be playing all over San Antonio. Y'all come check me out when y'all get a chance.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you for actually sticking with this, man, being patient with me. Times have been tough, but we finally got you in
Got
the
you.
studio. Shout out to Carlos one time,
Yep.
man. Yeah, man. He texted me the other day and he was just like, "Yo,
Yeah.
get this guy on the pod." And I was like, I checked it. I checked the request because I told you it
Yeah.
was in the request folder, and I was just like, okay, yeah. I saw everything just like I said before. I saw everything. And I
Yeah.
was just like, yeah, this is different. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's when I sent the actual DM. But
Yeah, I hit him up.
yeah,
I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, "Tell your boy, man, I hit him up, just check it out." He's like, "Okay, I'll tell you." He's like, "Don't forget about me when you make it big." I was like, "Dude, get out of here."
yeah, yeah, man. But shit. Other than that, man, y'all know where to find me. Gilbert Sanchez without the E in my last name. Social media. Yeah. Until next time, people. Peace.